Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights, another card wall video, leading off with George Kelly, otherwise known as High Pockets, and ending up with Bill Klem. So these are all Ks in alphabetical order. George Kelly, this is a remark card when he was a coach, not as a player. If I do pick a remark card, it'd probably be Billy Martin. So I think George is not going to make it. Thanks, sponsors. Jim Kelly will make it. When you're a runner-up quarterback and you're getting beaten out and losing in the Super Bowl, sometimes you're a great quarterback, but the other team is better than your team, and you just can't pull them through. It doesn't mean you're terrible. It means you were maybe the second best quarterback. That still should be praised. I'm going to keep this one. I've got this other one here. I like horizontal cards not as much, but when I've got the bonus autograph on the back. The only problem is the wall is not set up for people to be indiscriminately flipping over to the back, because there's a sticky substance that make it a little tricky, so people can't have sticky fingers. Mike King Kelly, we got too many of the Callahans. So this is back when I thought I just would make sure I do at least one from every Hall of Famer. He ought to have a card. He changed the game. I'm not sure I have a card from when he was playing. I might. If that kind of stuff will go in the next wave to BGS. But he would be in there. Leroy Kelly made the mistake of following Jim Brown. He was a great runner and Hall of Fame worthy, but not as good as Jim Brown, who was potentially a GOAT. So he may be out. Jack Kemp, I've met him. I met his son, spent a little time with him. Very smart. His cards always sold well for me. This is his rookie card, but it's pretty plain. I think his other cards look better, and so I'll keep evaluating what I want to have a Jack Kemp card on there, but it doesn't have to be that one. And some other ones may be in better shape and better design preference. This is Sean Kemp. Again, this is probably one of his better cards. He's putting a move on, looks like Dikembe Mutombo. Sean Kemp has a following, and so I think he's safe for now, especially this card, which I think is a beautiful card. Clayton Kershaw from the area, went to high school here. I've got these two choices to pick. Again, neither one of them are so great. They may have been dollar box cards, because I did not get these out of a pack. And they both have nostalgic designs, this kind of a 59 Topps look, and the other was more of a Lou Gehrig says Gaudy kind of look. But I probably need to get a tougher card, and there is potential for him to be over to say, hey, that's the best you got for me. That would be disappointing. Jason Kidd, hot numbers, a really good card, very savvy player. They were ready to fire him a couple months ago. Then the last month or 6 weeks, he's been at least coach of the month, maybe coach of the year. I never thought in my lifetime the Mavericks would in any way be a strong team defense and rebounding team. And Jason Kidd, the talent on the floor. Harmon Killebrew, I love this card, 69 Topps Super. Probably some kind of a test issue. I bought out a dealer back in summer of 78 who had a bunch of these, and I just took his whole table, and he had an album full of some of these, and surprised to get a 9 out of this. But they're rounded corners and a beautiful card. The transograms were not intended necessarily to be cut out like that, because they had figures in their boxes, but this is a nice card, but just as a novelty. And then the obligatory rookie card. I'll probably stay with the 69 Topps Super, just because that's less obvious. Ralph Kiner, announcer, when he was on the Pirates, they just were so terrible they wound up trading him off. But I love the autographs on the 53 Bowman colors, so I'll keep it on there for a while, but maybe not forever. He may get bumped off with somebody better. Bernard King, same thing. If he wouldn't been injured, he would have been legendarily great. He was pretty unstoppable back in the day of tight defense and all that. However, these are the years, there's a few years before and after, where basketball cards were pretty uninspiring era, where it seemed overproduced at the time. And even now, there's a big drop-off. You get the early 70s basketball cards are held in high regard. The late 70s, they made a lot of them. And it's probably an indication of why Topps dropped the license, allowing the Star Company to come in and take it. So, okay, here's a good one. Bet you haven't seen this. One of my favorite cards. Autographed, not necessarily to me, but from Rich Klein, my buddy, Uncle Rich. Wall would not be complete without an Uncle Rich. Yes, Rich was young once, and so was I. This actually card had the problem of being rejected by BAS. Beckett Authentication said that we cannot authenticate this autograph because we do not have an exemplar. And Rich famously said, I live 5 minutes away. Can I come over? And I said, hey guys, it's me. This is Rich. He used to work here. So we did get that squared away. Not a joke, actually. Bill Klem, he's not going to make it. I'm a little bit down on umpires. I was an umpire. One of my jobs when I was in college and grad school, a side gig of umpiring in city leagues and intramurals. It's a hard job, but when I had the company, we actually got sued by some umpires because they were incidentally shown on a card that we pictured in our magazine. They claimed we owed them a royalty, and that ticked me off. I don't think we'd done anything wrong, but all of a sudden you get in this litigation, you got to pay money to attorneys, and it just was frustrating. So I'm not down on Bill Klem. I think he was an amazing umpire, but it's just umpires are people too. Referees, we've heard different things. Nobody's perfect. So at any rate, thanks for another episode.